Hello, welcome to Mini Drone Monday here, and today we're going to test the DJI Mini 2 against the Mini 3 and see which one is the better value. And here we have the champion here, the Mini 2 with the standard DJI remote controller, and over here to the left we have the contender here, the new kid on the block, the DJI Mini 3 Pro with the DJI RC, which has the built-in screen. And if you're wondering about what's on the front there, that is the Start RC gimbal cover, which a lot of people like better than the one it came with. It gives you more protection and protects the obstacle avoidance filters also. And just for another quick look down here to the right here, probably left for you guys, I never know on TV, but here we have the standard DJI bag that you get if you buy the Fly More kits. They all kind of look the same. And here is the Start RC hard case for the DJI Mini 2, which is affordable and very good case. So just a little note here, and let's get on to our competition. The first flight of the day will be with the DJI Mini 2. The second generation. There was a Mini 1. I do not have that anymore, and there is also a DJI Mini SC, and of course next flight will be the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So the Mini 2 will go first. We're going to do some standard parameters here. We're going to fly them at 4K 30. They all fly at 4K 30. The Mini 3 will do better. I'll get to that, but we'll fly at 4K 30. I'm going to manually set the white balance on 5,000 Kelvin, so everybody will have the same white balance, because it could change a little bit. And I will not fly with any ND filters, so they don't have the same exact ND filter, for both drones. So I will not use the ND filter. Even though a bright sunny day like this, you probably should use an ND filter because the shutter will be real high during these flights. But don't judge on the no motion blur in this video. That could be achieved with the proper ND filters, which I will not use today for the reasons explained. So anything else we're trying to fly it on all those things except me adjusting that white balance. Everybody has the same 5,000 Kelvin. So here we go, folks. We'll get on the pad and get it all booted up. I've just formatted the memory card here. We're on the latest firmware and app update. So all that's up to date, and we're flying in Class G, no temporary flight restrictions of any kind. So we're going to take off here. We're going to check for video. We'll take some stills, and check for signal strength. And I'm not going to do a full battery test because this video could go on forever. I'll put the battery times down, but we're not going to fly any of these batteries to the end here. Again, you don't want to watch a 2-hour video here or whatever. So, okay, as they would say over at the Idaho Quadcopter channel, let's get this bird in the air, folks. Okay, the Mini 2 has a good hover there. We got 15 satellites is acquired as home point. And we said we're about ready to go here. We're on auto settings. So here we go, folks. We're going to start recording now. And I'm going to do a screen recording also. Okay, up and out of here. Up and out of here, home run Mickey Morandini. All right, it's our rule of 4/3 here. We're just going to fly over this dune, this berm here. So we're not flying over anybody. It's a few people on the beach today. It's a nice day down here. Still a lot of nice days left at the shore. And not very windy today either. So we're not going to get a wind test today, unfortunately. All right, let's get her up to almost about 100 feet. Just shy of 100 feet. There we go, 97. So let's zoom down here. We're recording video. Actually, before we do anything else, let's stop this video for now. We'll take pictures when we get back. I don't want to delay this here. Got a lot of flying to do today. Okay, so we're rolling down here at almost 20 miles per hour. Like I said, it's not much wind. It's always a little breeze down at the beach, but it's not really windy per se. I'll put a screenshot of the before you fly app up here. So you can see the beach is pretty deserted. You got some trucks down there. I think it's some surfers down there. I think it's some waves today. We got total blue skies. Fortunately, we don't have any nice clouds today, but it is what it is. So we're flying down here towards the Margate Fishing Pier here. And so far signal is good. And, you know, flying really good here. No issues whatsoever with the flight here. All right, let's go up just a little bit higher here. We're going to stop here, go up a little bit higher. And we'll get a picture. That's the landing city you see down at the, you know, in the foreground there, the background. So let's stop. We're going to stop the video here. I'm going to switch over to photographs, photo. And we're just going to take I'm going to switch that setting to just a JPEG. We're going to just standard JPEG. And we'll frame it up a little bit again. And we're going to tap the focus here. And let's see here. You can change exposure by moving up or down. So let's make it nice and bright without, you know, without blowing the highlights out. See the histogram there? Look how it changes. I move the brightness up and down. So it like me going more toward the bright side. See, I've got the histogram more semi, just a little bit more. There we go. Histogram's perfectly in the center now. So that's probably this. So we're going to get our shot now. There's our photo. Okay, let's y'all out here and look at this here. See what we see here. There's the pier. So let's try to remember these same, get the same shots with me. So we'll do another shot here. So we'll tap the focus again here. Now we need to move the histogram, to the left there. Straighten out a little bit, just a little bit more. Okay, now that looks good on the histogram. So let's take the photo now. Okay, so now let's do what's going to be difficult for the drone. Let's turn it back to us. And now we're facing kind of into where the sun would be. You don't really see the sun here, but the exposure is coming from here. So see, kind of, you know, we're not looking as good as flying away from. Now we're going to have the sun flying kind of towards the sun, where before we were flying away from the sun, which always makes for better video. So let's see how this performs flying into the sun, or towards the bright exposure. Okay, so let's bring it back down a little bit here again. We'll bring it back down to around 100. Okay, there we go. So we're coming back. See if we fly any faster. And we're doing just about the same. It's not much wind. It's doing about 20 miles per hour. Coming back. And, performing really well here. The Mini 2 is still a solid drone, even though, again, it's kind of last year's model at this point. But this video is going to try to help you figure out whether you need to upgrade to the Mini 3 if you have the Mini 2, or, maybe you can stay where you are for now. So, okay, we're kind of back now. That's where we took off from. So far, so good. You can see, how... it wasn't as good as handling flying towards the exposure, but that's with any drone really. So, yeah. Okay, so let's stop that recording here, and we'll take a picture facing towards the exposure here. We'll do the same thing here. We'll kind of tap the focus here, and you see my histograms needs to come to the right a little bit here. There we go. See how that looks much better now. They got the histogram a little more balanced out here. I don't want to go too much brighter but I can recover some of those highlights with the editor. But so you got to, it balance. You always have that balance of whether you want the sky highlighted properly or the ground. So let's go with that. Now it's on all. I didn't realize we had auto exposure bracketed gone here before, but that's okay. We're still taking JPEGs here, not RAWs, just because a lot of people want to see what the basic what the camera, because that's the camera doing the process on its own. So let's get this shot here, the pier from a distance. And again, now we're going to tap, say, the subject here, and see the histogram. Now the histogram looks pretty good here. I didn't really have to do much here. It got the exposure pretty right on that one. So let's do that there. Okay, we got that photo. Now let's look at some of the other options in here. Okay, you can do photos. You can do single auto exposure bracket or a time shot. So that's your options there. And video, you just have video. There's no options. You know, you set the you know, from in the camera menu, you set whether you're shooting 4K, 2.71080p, and your frames per second, or you can go down here where you see the at the bottom right hand corner. You can go to let me tap that away. You can go to your pro settings, and you have your options there. You could change. You know, I said we're going to shoot everything at 5,000 white balance, and I lied. So everything's going to be shot on auto white balance, and I did not remember to say that. So you can go over here and change your ISO, your shutter, and your you know, MM, which is kind of exposure metering, something like that stands for. So okay, so that's your basic video settings. You go down here, your quick shots. So you have some of your, you know, your basic here, your droney, your rocket, your circle, and your helix there, and your boomerang shot, which I'm not going to go through all those. You've seen this before. I got other videos on the channel where you can go look at them. Again, I don't want to turn this into a epic long video here. And then you got your pano shots. You got your basic panos here, your spear, your 180, your wide angle. And you know what they don't offer here? They don't offer the vertical pano that you see in some of the other drones. So there's your 3 basic panos. And let's see here. Let's get back out of that. And that's it. So you got pano, quick shots, video, and photo. Yeah, so that's you know, that's a lot of your options here on this drone. You know, it's not as full featured as some of the bigger drones as far as things it can do, but you know, it still has a full complement of things here. So let's bring this drone back and land it, and let's take the Mini 3 up and see how that looks. I don't want the light to change too much, so that's why I want to hurry up and get this drone, you know, in the air here. Okay, I know that was a short flight, but just, you know, touching the bottom of the drone, all around the drone, you know, I don't feel it, you know, it's not warm at all. Short flight, and today's a day, I think it's like 60, you know, in the mid to upper 60s here. Like I think it's 67 degrees. We'll check that before you fly. But the drone's not warm at all after that, you know, I call it somewhat short flight. And I just want to show you some of the basic functions of the controller here. Let me shut it down here. That blinking may bother you. Some of it. This is the standard controller. It's got your speed switch, your cine, your normal, and your sport mode on there. That's going to show you that now because that's important for something later. And this same controller will fly the Mini 3. And then you have your power on and off button, your function button, and this kind of reverses photos or video up here on that button. So again, I want to get going quick here. I don't want the light to change too much here. So let's get on with the Mini 3 now. All right, here we got the DJI Mini 3. We're going to start up here. The Mini 2 you start on the bottom. The Mini 3 you start in the top by short press and long press. It's the same way you start all the DJI drones here. So, okay. You heard the chime there. We're going to put it on the mat now. Actually, if you can see that mat there, it's an old like ancient surfboard from the skimboard from the 60s or 70s. For the Mini 3, we're going to use the DJI. Now, you could get the Mini 3 in 2 bundles. You can get one with the standard controller I just showed you, or this controller with a built-in screen. So we're going to, you know, short tap, long tap, start up. It has the same function buttons as Cine, the normal, and a sport mode. It has like a pause button over there, return to home. And you know, has a couple buttons up top here, a record, a photo button, some scroll wheels in the back. We'll get more into that later here, but you know, let's get this bird up in the air and see how the video compares to the Mini 2. Okay, just like the Mini 2, we're shooting 4K 30. We autoed everything, forget the auto white balance, forget about changing the white balance for the same thing. And yeah, we're ready to roll here, so we will take off. We have 25 satellites, and you know, same wind conditions and flight restrictions as the other drone, which we're all good. We're taking off with the command on the screen there. All right, here we got the DJI Mini 3. We're going start up here. The Mini 2 you start on the bottom, the Mini 3 you start in the top by short press and long press. It's the same way you start all the DJI drones here. So, okay. You heard the chime there. We're going to put it on the mat now. Actually, if you can see that mat there, it's an old like ancient surfboard from the skimboard from the 60s or 70s. Okay, for the Mini 3, we're going to use the DJI. Now, you can get the Mini 3 in 2 bundles. You can get one with the standard controller I just showed you, or this controller with a built-in screen. So we're going to, short tap, long tap, start up. It has the same function buttons as Cine, the normal, and a sport mode. It has like a pause button over there, return to home, and has a couple buttons up top here, a record, a photo button, some scroll wheels in the back. We'll get more into that later here, but let's get this bird up in the air and see how the video compares to the Mini 2. Okay, just like the Mini 2, we're shooting 4K 30. We autoed everything, forget the auto white balance, forget about change the white balance for the same thing. And yeah, we're ready to roll here, so we will take off. We have 25 satellites, and same wind conditions and flight restrictions as the other drone. All right, there we go. She's on a good hover there. I already gave you the satellite. She got one more satellite down, 26. So here we go. We're going to basically do the same test as we did with the Mini 2. So here we go. Oh, I forgot to do my screen recording. Okay, we got a screen recording rolling here. Record on the drone. We're going to try to get us up to 100 feet just like the other one. Take the same flight, same photos. Check the signal. Check how it fights the wind. Okay, we're rolling video here, 4K 30. We're 23 miles per hour. So this seems maybe a tad faster than the Mini 2, but not much. A couple miles per hour faster. So we're just making sure we're not flying over anybody here. I don't see anybody on the dunes. So everything's rolling, looking good. Unfortunately, I think the exposure changes a little bit, and of course, but it looks awesome on the screen here. It looks better even than it did on my phone screen. So, yep, everything's looking really very good, very nice. Okay, we're out about 1,600 feet, so we're going to stop the video there. And we're going to go into photo mode and photo. Okay, we're in photo. We're in JPEG, and I guess we'll take the brackets like we did on the other one. So go away there. Okay, we'll check our histogram again. Okay, the histogram, it's maybe a little bit darker. Okay, the histogram looks perfect there. So let's get a shot now. Take our bracket of photos. I didn't get the sound effect for some reason. Let me do it again. Make sure they took. I'm probably not getting the sound effect because I'm doing a screen recording here. Okay, so that was photo number 1. And then we went around this way and took a photo like this. Think about like that. And let's see, let's tap our subject again, or our point of interest, and check our histogram again. That looks pretty good there, maybe a little bit lighter. Okay, I like that. See, the histogram's pretty even. Take our photos again. Okay, I heard the sound effect that time. Okay, now let's face it towards the sun. Which is always the, more difficult for the camera. And let's go back to video here. Video. Alrighty. And, we forgot to go a little bit higher for the photo like we did on the other one. So this photo was a little lower than the other photo, so okay. Okay, let's roll down here and check our speed and everything again. Yeah, I could probably change exposure, make that a little bit brighter, but we're trying to do all Dr. Auto. So we're coming back to about the same speed we went out, like about 23 to 24 miles per hour. So again, a little tad faster than me too, but not much, not enough to make any difference. Now I don't, that doesn't say how they compare in the wind here, but okay, we're coming back here. Drone's performing perfectly here. Okay, but we're back. Actually, we're too far back here. Okay, let's stop the recording here. I think I took the picture from. Okay, I took a picture like this, and I turned around, took a picture the other way. So let's get that center up there. I think that's where I had it last time. And then let's tap on that. That building will be our focal point, and then we'll check our histogram again. The histogram's kind of slowly reacting. It's a little bit tougher than the phone. Phone has definitely a better processor than the RC Pro controller, so the histogram's it's delayed on here, where it's not on the phone. So okay, let's go back to photos. And I should have switched that first. Now we got to reset our histogram because video is different than pictures. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Okay, it's just tough because it's a little delayed as versus the phones because the processor's not as good on this one. I want to make it a little bit brighter, but not too bright, because I don't want to blow out those skies. Okay, that's about as good as I'm going to get there in the histogram. So let's take our photos. Okay, it took my 3 brackets. Now let's flip it this direction here. And much easier photo this time. Let's tap on the pier there. And check our histogram once again. That puts pretty balanced there. So let's check our photos. Alrighty, that completes that part of the test. Now, I landed the Mini 2 manually because the Mini 2 doesn't have precision landing, and I can never remember whether this thing has precision landing or not. Like I used to test that out a lot when it was kind of a new thing anymore, but I almost forget to do it anymore. So but before we do all that, let's check out some of the settings. Okay, so we're in photo here. So you have single 48 megapixel, but you did not have on the Mini 2. Auto exposure brackets, which you did on the Mini 2, and the time photo. Oh, burst. You didn't have burst on there. So you have 2 more features here. You got time photo at the bottom, but you have burst, which I've highlighted now, and 48 megapixel. So that's 2 things you did not have on the Mini 2. So, okay, now we go over the video settings. And okay, now you had slow motion here. You only had, well, you didn't have any selections on the Mini 2, but you had that normal because, but now you have normal and slow motion on this one. And of course, it has, 4K 30. Now this could do up to 4K 60, where the Mini's topped out at 4K 30. So if you're a big fan of high frame rates, this is the one. And master shots. Okay, there was no master shots on the Mini 2. Quick shots, I believe it's the same exact quick shots. Oh no, no, I'm all wrong here. You had Joni, Rocket, circle, helix. You do not have boomerang or asteroid, so you get 2 extra quick shots here. And hyperlapse. You do not have hyperlapse at all, so that's new. And of course you have pano. And you didn't have the vertical. Remember I said that you did not have vertical pano on the the Mini 2. So yeah, that's you know, so it's a lot extra goodies in this Mini 3. So remember that from a software side here. So, and the Pro mode, I showed you. Pro mode's a Pro mode. It doesn't same stuff on all the drones. So okay, I guess let's bring this guy down. Again, I don't know if it has precision landing or not. We could test it out. Of course, it's going to go up to some super high thing here, whatever I had it set at. Oh no, it's not. It didn't. I was close enough that I didn't go into it super duper, go up to 400 feet and land. Alrighty, it's above us. It's turning itself around. You can see in the screen recording. I'm going to start the drone video up again here, if that's maybe some use or not. I won't be able to do it. Quick enough. Is it going to hit it? No, it's not. Okay, folks, so if it has precision landing, it was close. It was close, but no cigars. They always say it was going to land in the sand, so I manually took over for the last minute. So whether that's precision landing or not, I do not know. So okay, I know a lot of people talk about overheating on the Mini 3. I'm picking it up now right after the flight, holding it underneath where the battery would be. I'm holding it all different directions. To me, it's at the same exact flight that we did the Mini 2 is no warmer or no cooler, however you want to say it, than the Mini 2 was. So I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of comments on this video saying that it overheats. You didn't tell the whole story, but I'm just telling you, I'm holding it here. You see I'm holding it. It's no warmer than the Mini 2 was for me. Now again, I didn't fly it in 60 frames per second. I didn't fly it in 95-degree temperatures, so that all has to be taken into consideration. Okay, and the nice thing about this controller is you can do the screen recording right in the controller. Now, it does not record audio unless you add a mic to it, but I'm going to stop the screen recording. Stop. Okay, it'll say the screen recording. So there we go. So what's and all these flights were done on a normal speed control. I did not test sport mode. I flew everything on normal. So that is what it is there. So. And folks, for a little bonus coverage here, we're after we get done with the minis, we're going to see how throw a little comparison between the other contender here, the Autel Nano Plus drone here. See how it compares to. It is also a under 250 gram drone, just like the other two. So a little bonus action for you. For a little bonus content here on Mini Drone Monday, you don't get this anywhere else. We're going to throw the Autel Nano Plus into the mix. Also the Mini Drone under 250 grand, and kind of falls somewhere in between the Mini 2 and the Mini 3, and it was released between the two drones also. So we're going to take this thing up for a little test flight here. And on the back here, instead of a short press, long press, you just have one long press. There you go. Same thing with the controller. You just one long press on this button in the middle here. And one thing I do want to mention, a lot of people, when this drone came out, they raved about the build quality of the controller and so on and so on. It does feel firm, but also it does feel heavier. And where's the speed switch button? the mode where you switch from cinema mode, normal, or sport mode. They call it Lucas here, but it doesn't have one. You have to do all that by digging into the app to change your speed. Now you can set some of that to a function button here on top here, but you know, something you got to set up or whatever. You know, a lot of firmware updates have, you know, undid settings. You say do it every time. So anyhow, you know, to me, a pretty big con for not having the speed switch on the, you know, on the controller itself. So anyhow, and this drone, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put in 4K 30. Dr. Auto, everything else, take some pictures. A couple things I did not mention. This drone has optical avoidance, and the Mini 3 has optical avoidance, but the Mini 2 has no optical avoidance. And also the Mini 2 has no tracking, where the Mini 3 and the Nano have tracking on. So, you know, just for, you know, your information, FYI. So let's get this drone in the air here. Let's do our screen recording first. Screen recording, and here I'm doing on the phone here. You remember that I did it on the you know, the controller in the Mini 3 because it had the like semi-smart controller. We're opening up the Autel Sky app. It's an app they invented just for this drone, Nano Plus, and a Lite. The Evo 2 ran on a different app. So, okay, this time we have 18 satellites, not quite as much as the DJI drones. I don't, you know, I didn't time to see how long I've kept it on, but 18 satellites. Same parameters before. We have, you know, Class G, no temporary flight restrictions, the winds, you know, good, low wind, good satellites, you know, no KP issues. So, okay, let's go here, Dr. Autoed up. Let's get this bird in the air and run the same test.
Home point has been refreshed.
Okay, you can probably see she turned off my grid lines. Sometimes you have to enable that almost every time. There we go. I don't like that crosshair thing. Let me get rid of that. Camera. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's get this bird in the air. Up and out of here, Mickey Morandini. Let's get up about 100 feet. That's where we're on the other drones. Let's get our roll of thirds down here. I think I was saying roll of 4/3. Okay, got a little bit too high here. We have this in standard flight mode, which we did on the others. Now, this used to have a little bit of problem. Let me get out in front of the camera. This used to have a little bit of problem handling the wind, but a couple firmware updates have really, enhanced its ability to fly in the wind. So, and I'm going to show you a secret trick in a little while here. But okay, let's go here. So let's start recording. I think we're in photo mode. Let's get in video mode.
Start recording.
All right. Let's rock and roll. Same path, same everything, same bad time, same bad channel. Sorry for the ancient reference for the young people out there. So here we go down the beach here. You don't notice a drastically different color profile. Okay, it's flying along at 22 miles per hour, so a little bit slower than the Mini 3, but a little bit faster than the Mini 2 maybe. Everything else seems to be flying well. You know, the camera looks good. Signal looks good. Yeah, everything's looking great. Okay, I think here's about where we stopped and took pictures with the other one. So let's stop the video here.
Stop recording.
Let's switch over to the photos here. Okay, we're on photos. Now, you know, this doesn't change the aspect or the view as the DJI drones do. You get a much more kind of zoomed out view than you do on the DJI. So that's kind of interesting. We can still do the same thing here. Where's our histogram here? Our histogram is not live now, so let me go into settings and turn histogram on. This has this, you know, turns settings off a lot on you here, you know, whenever you do some kind of update or so. And there's your histogram. So let's put the histogram on. There's our little history. We'll put it down here where you can see it. So let's tap on that building, which you did in the other photos. The histogram looks pretty darn good already. Yeah. Actually, this did a better job on the autofocus than the DJI did. So let's see. Let's see if, I don't know. Let's go to the auto exposure back. This guy did it with the other one. Okay. It's the better job than the DJI did. Guessing the exposure, right? So that's you know, that's something. Alrighty, so let's do the same thing here. Let's tap on the end of the pier. And look, our histogram went away. Our darn there's a con right there. The histogram goes away every darn time. So camera, histogram, it's on. Wait a minute, did it? Oh, my bad. It was just there in the dark. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's change a little bit to get it to the left there a little bit. Oops. Okay, we centered the histogram a little bit. Take our bracket of photos. Alrighty. So let's switch back to video mode. Which again, I like the fact that it doesn't change the aspect ratio. Okay, let's go hit record and come on back again. It's always more difficult for the camera to fly into the, where the direction the sun's coming from. And now it's going a bit slower than it did going out. Like it's under 20 miles per hour. So coming back, it must be a little bit of wind. It's flying a tad slower than either the Mini 1 or the Mini 2 did. So, but we're still coming back at a respectable speed. Again, this is normal. We did them all in their normal modes, not their sport, and this is called ludicrous mode. But, so, yeah, you can see how, again, it's kind of, crushing the shadows here, but that's normal when you're flying into the exposure. Nothing unusual there. But we are definitely coming back, slower than we went out and slower than the other drones. Okay, I think we're almost back. In fact, we are back. There we are. Alrighty. So we're going to do the kind of the same shots we did before. I want to go down and try to get this exactly where I had it with the other drones. Okay, get that shot of the pier. I think that was kind of it there. So let's stop the video.
Stop recording.
Go back to photo. And get our roll thirds there. Tap the end of the pier. The histogram already looks pretty good. I'm not going to change it all. Take our brackets. And, okay. And let's shoot this direction. If I forgot to shoot the photo this direction, we'll go get it now. We're going to tap on that big high rise down there like we did the other ones. Let's center that up kind of like I did the other shots. Okay, now we're going to check that histogram. Okay, there we go. I think we got that histogram balanced out a little bit there. We'll take our photo. Get our roll. Our roll third seems to be getting messed up a little bit more here than the other drones, but could just be me. Okay, so we got that taken care of. We got a plane way ahead of us here, but we don't have that ADSB on this bay. But we're at, you see, we're at 100 feet. And we got a plane a jet come probably going into Langston Airport, way ahead of, again, we're totally Class G around here, under 400 feet, of course. So you can see we're at 111 feet. We're 164 feet away, so we're in good shape as far as following the Part 107 guidelines here, So, okay, here's something I want to show you. I used to have trouble flying my Nano in the wind. I thought it would fly real slow, and then one of my subscribers, one of my commenters on a video, maybe he's both, told me this. So go into your settings here, that gear icon at the top right hand screen, and go into I believe it's is it Safety, I never remember this stuff. I wish this. I sure wish they would put the speed controls on the hardware button on the controller, so you didn't have to remember all this stuff. But okay, let's go into. Okay, it's here someplace. Flight mode, and let's go into ludicrous mode and see where it actually, if without you doing anything, it defaults to the video priority out of the box. But you can switch it to speed priority, right? So let's switch to the speed priority. And then let's see how it goes here. Watch the meter here. We got a car crossing over there, so we're gonna wait for him to go, because I'm gonna be down there in a second. Okay, watch this. 25, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32.5, I saw the highs. Okay, so you can see you can really move faster in this than you can. Oops, fast yaw there. Okay, let's come back. We were going a little slower coming back. Let's see. That's nobody here. Let's just fly over the beach. If we fly the beach, doesn't matter. Okay, we're coming back. 20, 22, 23, 25. We're definitely flying low. We can't top 25 coming back. So, all right. So I think you've got an idea of, that control there. So I'm going to actually go out of that control because it flies a little, you don't have the good as command over it when you're in that speed priority mode, which, that's to be expected. So, okay, let's bring this down. Like, again, I'm not sure what this has. What do you call it? Precision landing. So we got some people crossing over there, so we'll wait for them to go by. We'll switch this back to video mode. So you got
Start
people
recording.
crossing over. Little kids, so we're right over the dune here, so we're giving them plenty of room to cross. And then we'll come back and land this thing again. I'll bring it back. I don't think it has precision landing. In fact, while I'm waiting, I'm going to go the control probably. I'll probably never be able to figure out how to change the return to home height on here. Safety's probably on there. Return to home altitude. Okay, what's there you go. It says something low. Okay. Let's get over this crosswalk here. Okay, let's see how it does on its return to home.
Returning to home.
Okay, it's returned to home. It's going to go up to 190 feet or whatever I set it at. We'll see how it does. Okay, here it comes. Of course, I'll stop it again if it, if it's going to land in the sand, which I'm sure it will. I don't have the world's biggest landing pad here. I need to get one of those super duper landing pads. Now it went up a lot higher than I just set the return to home height. I don't know why. I must have not saved something or whatever. I don't often use return to home height. I usually just put it real high.
Landing.
In
Please
case I
make
have
sure landing point is safe.
A signal disconnect, and I had no control of the drone, and it'll fly back high enough that it'll miss anything. But otherwise, outside of this signal disconnect, I rarely ever, use it. I rarely ever get a signal disconnect either, but it's always, you always want to be safe. Now it's looking good. It's coming down real good here. Accurate landing, correcting aircraft location. Oh, butterfly just went by. I think it's going to do it. I think it's going to do it, folks. Correcting aircraft location. Oh my, look at this. Oh my. I had no idea.
Gimbal is
Wow.
self-checking. Please take off
Kudos.
later. Stop
Bill
recording.
the drone reviewer would say, kudos to the Autel Nano Plus for the best precision landing I've seen in a long time.
Gimbal is self-checking. Please
Okay,
take off
again,
later.
the heat test. This doesn't feel warm at all. I'm trying to feel all around here, but I'm not burning my hand whatsoever. Again, I'm going to say it's no warmer, no cooler than the other two drones on the unofficial hand test here. So let me get this shut down. All right, I'm going to shut
Aircraft
this down
disconnected.
here, just by that long press.
RC
And then I'm going to
disconnected.
go in here and shut the screen recording off. My phone faded a little bit. This is the famous iPhone or whatever issue, which had nothing to do with the drone. The iPhone heating up could happen with any of the other drones. So yeah. So of course, you will have seen the video that I post up the video straight off the memory card. I'll make sure I get that in there too, so you can see what that looks like. Of course, I got the screen recordings, but we'll see how it all looks as compared. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed the comparison between the Mini drones, the Mini 2 versus Mini 3, and should you upgrade to the Mini 3 if you fly the Mini 2 already, and if you don't own either one, which one should you get? And also, for a little bonus content, we put the Autel Nano Plus in there, which is another, popular mini drone that has, a good camera and some, superior, modes and photography modes and things in there too, as well. Kind of like the Mini 3. It's kind of a poor man's Mini 3. Sorry, I'm only saying it because it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the Mini 3, but it has a great camera. Okay, just some groundwork on this video. And again, I'm not going to pick the winner. There is no winner. They're all good drones or whatever. The winner is whatever drone best fits your needs or whatever. Your price, budget, and your needs as far as photography and features or whatever. So again, they're all winners. They're all good drones. No matter which one you pick, you got a good drone. And should you upgrade from the Mini 2 to the Mini 3? Did you see anything in this video? If you're a Mini 2 owner, did you see anything in this video from the Mini 3 that would make you want to upgrade to it or possibly the Nano? So again, it's not my call. I don't pick a winner here. You're the judge. I just want to set some parameters here. Everything was shot in 4K 30. Auto settings, I tried not to change anything. I was going to change the white balance to match the beginning, but I wound up forgetting, so they're all on auto white balance. Ignore that, what I said about the white balance near the beginning. And but everything else was on auto settings, ISO, shutter, all that or whatever. There was no ND filters used. There was no post editing or whatever. In fact, you're only seeing the screenshots in this video here. Now, I'm going to make a second video where I only show the raw video off the SD card and the photos I took. That's going to be the only thing in the video. All the jibber jabber and talking about settings and all that. That's all in this video here. The next video is just the footage. So that'll be coming out shortly after this video launches, so you can see the full glory, full 4K 30 glory, and I took JPEG, so you see all the the bracketed JPEGs or whatever of what I took here. So again, that's coming in a video shortly after this video is released. So if you have any questions, or concerns, I try to be as fair in the tests as I could. The Mini 2 got the best light. By the time the Mini 3 got up, it lost a little light there. And the Nano had the least amount of light of any of them. So again, conditions change fast. You think, oh, well, this light will last for a half hour or so, but it doesn't. It went from say 3, from 3 to 3:30, the light is sometimes drastically different. Every time I do one of these tests, it always changes on me. So again, unless I was flying all three, if I had three, I needed three drone pilots all flying at the same time to be totally fair here. So anyhow, I don't want to make this video too long. That's why I'm not putting the other footage on here. So yeah. So again, hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see the stuff off the memory card, tune in for the next video short release. It just has the footage. So hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one, folks.